Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nothing's Wrong podcast. I'm Isabel.
And I am Catherine.
And tonight, you already know the drill. We go through this every Sunday, but hit the like, hit the share.
Let everybody know you're here.
Yes.
Also, go ahead and follow our social media. We are on Instagram. We're on YouTube tonight. So hopefully we have our YouTube family here. Thank you all for joining, and hit the like, hit the share. We got a lot to talk about. We are also getting into, what's the title tonight? What's the title? Why you single? What was it? Let's see. All it says is come join this. Come join
The truth on why you're single.
The truth on why you're single.
Right.
I just apologize.
Sorry guys, I am doing what y'all supposed to be doing, and that's
in the chair and like, wow. Anyways, I'm so excited because we look good tonight. Lighting is good. Faces on point. You look beautiful. I look beautiful. And hey, everybody, welcome to Nothing's Wrong podcast. We are about to get hot and heavy. We're going to go into so many good little things on why are we single for those who are single. I usually, when I have my conversation, I involve the people as if I'm going through the same thing they're going through. And sometimes I'm not, but that I feel like it's a Piscean thing to do, is to involve themselves. But guess what?
That's a very empathic thing to do as well.
Yeah, it is a very empathic thing, especially when
you go into the person's feelings.
Yeah, and their energy. It's not good for you. So that's what I've been learning, to stay out of it.
Stay out of everybody's energy.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to the energy that best suits you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's for sure. Hopefully you're suiting yourself.
So
go ahead. No, I said hopefully they're suiting themselves if they have a suitor, you know. But yeah, let's hear what you said.
I don't have it. Funny thing of it is like today has been such a, I don't know. I haven't really been even thinking about what I was going to talk about today, because it's like so much to talk about all the time. So much is always going on. If you guys checked out the last week's episode, you've seen we were talking about like how everything is always going on. It's like a, soap opera. It just never stops. It's always something. So there's so much to talk about. And I know you were saying like even talking about certain topics, and I was just like, I'm so exhausted with everything.
Yeah. I know life can take you on a, like, I don't want to be involved. Like you were saying, I'm the type of person that's taking up everybody's energy, and you're like, I'm trying to enjoy my energy. Right. I don't know what's going on with everybody else. And
I care about everybody,
of course. But sometimes you're in that energy when you're like, I don't feel like being involved, and that's okay. You don't have to always be involved, but I'm glad that you are, because if you wouldn't be here today. And every time she's in that energy, I'm like, yo, are you not doing the show? And then she was like, I would never not do the show. Right. I just don't feel like it.
No, I enjoy coming up here and having conversations with you, and having conversations with you guys in the chat. And that's like so much fun, because the more that we interact and speak to each other and see how everybody's thinking, I think you learn a lot. And why not do that, Right. Get an idea of what everybody is thinking. And that goes to, why did we choose this title? Why did the truth on why you're single?
Why are we single, people? Why are you single? Hit up the comments down below if you're single and you want to know. You want us to let you know why you're single. That would be great tonight as well. Because then, it's always nice to get another opinion. Right. And you think you're doing things right as a single person who's out there just venting. I also heard, I'm so glad that we're talking about this subject, because I've also heard that people who are currently because of the pandemic, they are, you know, not able to like actually date people. So there's a lot of online dating going on. And a lot of people don't like that because they're like, okay, my first date with them is, you know, a Zoom call, because people are not really comfortable with all that, or FaceTime or whatever.
Okay.
But I feel in a certain kind of way that there is a good and bad thing about, like, you know, not being able to just completely just meet that person pretty quickly, is to get to know them. Because, like, what if you met them and you're like, oh, they're nothing, like, you know, it was a waste of time for me to get dressed and come meet up with this person.
Right.
So and you get to see if they actually fit the part of, you know, actually showing up, you know.
Right.
So I think it comes in both. Like, it's aggravating, but it's also a good way to like kind of see if that person fits, you know, the kind of person you want to date. And I think it's a good time, especially for single people, to actually know what they actually want in a relationship. And when they are interacting with people who are interested in dating them, that they don't have to just keep dating, especially when you get older. You don't want to keep dating people,
Right.
and it's just like, oh my God, this guy's a bachelor. Oh my God, this guy never wants to have kids. Oh my God, this guy doesn't go out. He doesn't like to do, you know, spontaneous things, be adventurous. He's always like saying, come to my house and eat. Like, I'm going to cook you a nice meal. Some people are doing different kind of things.
Right.
But if you don't know what you want, you're going to experience all those kind of experiences.
Right. I think exactly what you just said at the end, knowing what you want,
Mhm.
because when you know what you want, then you can accept things or not. And
Right.
I think men, I think I said this plenty of times before, but men are so good at being very disagreeable.
Yeah.
And when I mean disagreeable, it's a good thing. So always know, like, when I say, oh, that person was disagreeable, that means they get what they want, because they're just not going to accept anything. And men are, you know, if he does not want a relationship, he's very cut clear in the beginning and letting you know. And then if it's like something that you do want a relationship, like, most men will just like, okay, like, I'll let that go, because he doesn't want to like waste his time if, you know, you're trying to do something that he's not. And if the guy is in a relationship, he wants a relationship, he's pretty much going to let you know. Women, on the other hand, that's not necessarily the case. And I think it's because women are more agreeable, and women are more likely to, you know, make exceptions and compromise and just really mess up with holding down their own opinion for what they want in relationships. And I think that's why women settle a lot.
Yeah.
And get into relationships out of desperation, rather than actual, like, you know, being sure of what you want and having a clear goal for your relationship. I think a lot of those relationships don't have goals. They just like the moment and being together. And that's what most toxic relationships are about.
And so it's so funny that you're saying about the toxic relationship, and men also explaining to women that, you know, they're not actually interested in being in a relationship with that particular person. So I've seen a clip on Instagram, and this lady, she was like, it was like,
do we have the clip?
No, I wish I did.
Okay.
But she was like, oh, I'm about to break up with my dude. I mean, he's not my dude, because, you know, he said he doesn't want a girlfriend, but, you know, he's still my man. Like, we have a girlfriend and boyfriend relationship, but with no title. And, you know, I'm about to break up with him because even though he's not my man, I'm just going to stop. And it's so crazy, because there's a lot of women, like you said, because women are so agreeable that they understand that this is the relationship. The man is upfront with them. Mind you, he's like, without saying the definition of no strings attached, they just say, I don't want a girlfriend right now. Or saying like, oh, we're friends with benefits. They don't use any of these terms to these ladies. Men are very sneaky in the way they communicate with women. They're just so conniving and manipulating.
Because they're not thinking. Men get very, very intelligent and creative when they're trying to get a woman.
Oh, yeah.
If that's like the most you'll see him work in his life too. to be the sneakiest, and it still won't get past the woman if she's in her right mind.
Right.
So at the same time, like you said, like though there's so many women that do that, and once you realize who you are and what position you really play in this like relationship dance that we do with each other, it really, it shows you the desperation again. And when you find yourself being desperate in a situation, you're never making the right decisions. And that's like very important, especially as, you know, we're growing. And I mean, if anybody can't say like that they have changed from the last year, you know, that right there is just showing you like you got to really change and level up as well. Like you can't just stay being the same person anymore when we literally walked into a whole new reality. And now it's like, you know, if you are single, asking yourself, do I want to stay single? You know, I think we're not even asking, a lot of people don't even ask themselves, you know, if they want to do what it is that they're even doing.
Right. I think that is 100% truth. I think we're living each day as if we're actually just, there's no plan. There's no nothing. It's just like go. And it's like,
just like those type of relationships.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why those
they don't have a goal.
Right. And that's
that,
why
and then
those women are okay with being in those like non-title relationships.
Right.
It's just like, I see you when I see you. We do what we do. And it feels good, but there's nothing, there's no commitment here.
Right.
And I can definitely do everything that I want to do, but let me see. I don't want to hear about what you got going on. Don't tell me about your man or who you're talking to. It's all about me, but I can be going ahead and doing this.
And I think the reason why people get, you know, messed up in this is because they look at relationships. Everybody has their own definition of what a relationship looks like. Yeah. And some people don't necessarily understand the partnership that's involved with it. I would say that you're basically saying, you know, I choose you to be on my team. We're partners. It's us. And we go at life together, and that's what, you know, makes a relationship. But when you're in a situationship,
that's what it's called.
Then you're just in the situation, and then you're out of the situation, and then you get back in the situation. So there's no real commitment. There's no real, you know, anything there. It just is what it is in that moment. So it can happen today and go tomorrow.
Right. What do you all think? Do you think that the relationships that you are currently in, or if you're not in a relationship, are you actually, was it planned or was it not? And then I know I keep seeing what I've been seeing, but I've seen also, there was this man who was talking to a woman about how he currently has a son, and his son is like about 5 years old, and he's saying to the father that he wants a baby sister. And then he sat down and talked to his son, and he said, well, son, unfortunately, I can't give you a baby sister until I find my wife. And I was like, I thought women talk like that, but for you to say that to your son, sir, I was like, that is, you know what? You grow up. You're grown, you're grown, and you know what you want in your life. And it's amazing to hear a man know his plan, and he's a melanated man too. And you know, in the melanated community, they don't like to get married. I don't know why they don't want a lot of them. And I'm talking about people who don't have plans, especially in that kind of relationship. A lot of those men are bachelors, and they are just like, you know, they don't want nothing to do with commitment, but they do enjoy having a female by their side, and multiple of them, but not one particular woman to actually grow with.
I feel like that's so many guys. Like when I was dating, it was evident.
Mhm.
Like at certain, like I could just point out a bachelor, a guy
Right.
who's just gonna forever be a bachelor and just, you know, date and be one of those kind of guys. And women, you know, it may be fun, and definitely have your fun if you're in your 20s,
Right.
if you're, you know, young and want to have a good time. Yeah, hang out with bachelors, hang out with,
they're gonna show you a really good time.
You know, enjoy that time.
Mhm.
But if you're really like in your late 20s, 30s, and you're looking to settle down, I would definitely stay away from those kind of guys and start really focusing on the guys who you would actually want a family with, who you want to partner up with. Because again, it's like your partner. And if you are choosing a partner, you're not going to choose, like, say, if you had to choose a team on kickball, you're not going to choose the worst team. If you had to hire a team, you're not going to choose the worst employees to come on your team. So you got to be like really, really vigilant and diligent about what it is that you're putting in your life, essentially. Because I think that is like so important, and people take it so lightly. It's like, if that person who you're choosing to match up with does not like at least fulfill any of the needs that you have, it's going to be,
it's really pointless. And I think that a lot of people who are dealing with these type of relationships, they are actually interacting with people who are consistent bachelors. And a lot of bachelors do end up being in a relationship, but they're like married for about, I'm dating for about like 5 years, dating women for 5 years, because at the end of the day, they're never going to marry you, even if they never have that conversation and say, hey, not right now. That's their thing.
So what about this? So what if there was a guy who, you know, absolutely loved you. You absolutely loved him. You guys have been dating, and he's like, I will take care of you, do everything that I need to provide for you. Okay. But I just don't want to get married right now. Or I don't think I want to get married at all. But I do want a family, and I do want to be with you. What do you say to that? Okay. I've been hit with that
exactly
too.
Because
what do you say for that?
They're a provider. They're at this. They want a family. They want me to bring a baby into this world.
Doesn't want to get married.
I said no. I say no because a lot of people can give that experience, and I'm already grown at this age. I will not accept that. Yeah. But if I was in my 20s, like you said earlier, I would have been like, all right, cool. But no, not even then, because back then when I didn't know what I wanted, of course you could have got me with that in a heartbeat. Right. But no, I'm actually,
if you're young, just don't actually have the baby and you'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. I lost the baby.
So why is it a no?
It's a no because I like the traditional family marriage, and I feel like that is definitely that shows me that you actually believe in our relationship, even if you don't care about like government stuff. A lot of people like who's melanated, they don't want the government to be in their business.
The government's in their business,
right? That's what I'm saying. They be saying the most ridiculous things. Like you got a driver's license. You've been arrested before. Yeah. Like, what's the problem? You're gonna actually get actually like being married actually gives you benefits. Actually,
I read a book, I think by Napoleon Hill. I want to say The Laws of Success, and one of it was really huge on partnership. Like a lot of, very successful men couldn't get to where they were at without having their wives, and they know that, and they attribute their success to that. And I've read multiple books of men just raving about their wives and how their wives made them successful. Not necessarily by her, really helping him, but just her being her and her energy, her ideas, her creativeness. And women bring a lot to the table. And I appreciate men who appreciate women, because it takes a real man to notice a woman and understand and see her value to the point where he's going to, respect that. And the same goes other ways. I've noticed so much in the last couple of weeks about how, especially melanated women, don't necessarily know how to treat men. And this is interesting.
That's another reason.
And I want to bring this up because, you know, women are very aggressive now because that is the trend. So they are aggressively speaking to men. They're aggressively, you know, just everything is aggressive,
like a man hater,
and very manly, and not comforting and not soothing and not fun to be around for men. And that in itself was like an eye opener. Is like, and seeing that a lot of melanated women are single, that indicates a real alarm. Is like, why? And then the relationships, and I believe even Megan Thee Stallion, she brought up how now in her relationship she knows how to be soft, because before she used to talk to her boyfriends crazy, and now she's safe and secure in her relationship that she doesn't do that, and he checked her on that. And so
her current man checked her on that?
Yeah, and don't quote me on that, but that's what I heard. Jay says, "Hey Jay,
hi Jay,
how you doing?
Thanks for tuning in."
Most men fear divorce process, and if the woman will be civil during the process. Here in Dallas, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, here in LA, it's crazy too, because, you know, community property laws.
Right.
We can't have.
Don't get married in LA if you can't afford it.
You gotta afford it. Yeah, but I think that also goes to choosing the correct wife. That
Right.
goes to the man. You know, you gotta understand people, and the relationship is, I feel like it's just like a continued situation that it's never going to be the best it's going to be, but you both have to keep on working towards that. And you got to choose the right partner. It's like, you got to be critical about your choice. The same way if you're running a business and you have to hire a team, you're not going to just hire anybody. And a lot of men,
that's true,
just choose. It's like, oh, she's pretty, but it's like, do you factor in a good mother, a good homemaker, a good counsel, good, like, there's so many factors that goes into choosing the correct mate. And I think the more that people know what they want, the more relationships thrive.
My thing too is like,
and you become less fearful.
Right. I think that also it's like men end up choosing so quickly because like they didn't have the time to actually vent them out, like you said, and see what they really exactly want to experience in the woman. And with all that being said, it's like, I feel because you guys have that physical touch problem that it really causes you to think pretty quickly, especially with the female. And I don't know why that is, but because a lot of you guys, y'all show me y'all baby mothers or mother of your child, because I don't like the baby mama word. It's just disgusting, because the kid is going to grow up, especially if it's a baby, then the mother of your child, you know, that's the best response.
I feel like that's more respectful. Baby mama is like so degrading. It's like you don't even have a name.
And I don't want to do that to
you're not even a mother, you're a mama. You're a baby mama.
And men, I'm not done. And also, I will get to her one moment. I did want to say that men, like I said, they choose so quickly because of the physical touch and the like, I don't know why you guys want kids so bad. Like, as if you're gonna like leave this earth so quickly. It's like, I just need a kid or whatever. And then you choose that person who is like not a good fit. But even if that person's not a good fit, I was watching a movie and I was like, a mother is always going to be a mother. Like, you can't take your child away from their mother and you can't take your child away from the father. But there is some situations where you can, when that person's crazy or whatever the case may be. But like,
but I think the child still be
have a relationship with their parent,
sort of relationship. Ibrahim says, hi, welcome back, ladies. How was your week? You both look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. We had a great week. Definitely enjoyed this week. It's just been going by so fast.
Oh my gosh, time has been flying.
Time has been on a roll, but
I swear we just did the show last week. I'm at this like 2 days ago.
3 days ago.
No.
We're back. Jay says, unfortunately, I have a baby mama.
You don't have a baby mama? I want to see your newborn.
Yeah.
Let's see your newborn.
You have a newborn?
You have a mother of your child. I didn't remember you telling us you had a baby.
You had an ex-wife.
Great.
You
have an ex-wife and a baby mama?
I feel like it's just not a respectful term, and I don't think, and I that's also like
it's the music industry that calls it the baby mama.
Yeah, it is the music industry that influences, but I think it's also the person, like women and men, like you have to demand how people approach you.
Right.
You have to set the tone on how people will treat you. If you come with a certain type of energy and grace, nobody's going to be able to call you nobody's baby mama.
It's true. He must not have respect.
They wouldn't put you in a position to call you somebody's baby mama. They would say that's my ex-wife, because you still hold that same.
But if that's not his wife, he's
ex-wife, and then it's like, oh, that's my mother's child. Like you're gonna say it better. Like
if you have
everybody knows person. Everybody. I mean, you could be from the most craziest trailer park, but like when you come across the president, you're gonna act a certain way. You're not gonna give that person that same energy. So that's what I'm saying. Like people know how to straighten up and treat people with respect. And if you command it. In all situations, meaning you bring people respect as well, and you hold yourself accountable to that.
Right.
They're not going to hit you with that. And if they do, that just shows to their level. And that's just what it is, because I don't think it's a nice term. And I don't think that it's an endearing term, especially knowing the rates of how many baby mothers there are.
Well, thank you for standing up for the baby mom.
I know baby mama, but I'm just saying it definitely isn't a nice term, and I wouldn't label that. Like if you go through carrying a child, I'm not just somebody's baby mama. Well, I am a mother, honey. I get the full title. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a level of
there's level to this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't do people's jobs.
Yeah. Okay. Jackie says, you look so pretty, ladies. Oh, thank you. Hey, girl.
Thank you for your post yesterday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the support. I love when you guys support us. It's like, it means the world to me, and I really appreciate that. And even if I didn't see it when you posted, like I did it as soon as I saw it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
But right now, Jackie, we're talking about what's the truth on why people are single.
Right.
You know, we have to really nip that in the butt, especially if you don't no longer want to be single.
Right.
So if you don't want to be single, you got to sharpen up on a few things that you're doing with your relationships. I think like also communication with men, like you got to let go. Like you said, we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion, how, she just got in a relationship and she's no longer bringing that Tory Lanez relationship.
Right.
Because that hood rat stuff and that hood stuff that women do with that arguing, that catty stuff, like long time ago, I know when we were younger ladies, like guys used to like to fight us, right or wrong, because you
do the little play fighting thing, if you hit them, you like them type of thing, but then you grow up.
Exactly. And you don't need to do that. There's another way to do it. And that way is actually being feminine. Men love feminine women. Like if you're feminine and you're sweet and you're like engaging, that can make a difference. And confidence. And even if you're not agreeable to what the man has to say, I'm not saying agree with them, but do it in a way that you ask a question. Oh, why? I want to know why you think that way, but never actually be yourself. I also seen that women, we have to learn that our men, they can't be our boyfriends.
Yeah.
I'm our best friends. Like you can't always tell them everything. That's why you have friends for like certain things that you got to just keep it to a relationship standpoint where it can last longer.
Yeah. Where it's like you're respecting of all of that.
Yeah.
Jackie says, you're so welcome. And I really love the podcast. And girl, yes, communication is always the biggest key. I feel like that's where strength is.
Right.
Yeah. And I went through a really, really tough time communicating in my relationships. In the like beginning of my relationships, I struggled with this, and it was only because my personality type, I was so like, if they don't get it, oh well, like, you know, like I don't care, whatever, it's fine.
Your way or the highway.
It's my way, and then you're done, whatever. And then I realized where it's like, you miss out on a lot of great relationships and great, you know, times when you don't give people the shot to understand where you're coming from and hear you out. And, you know, it's good for you as well. So then that way everybody has an idea of what's going on. Again, going back to the partnership, the team building. If this is your teammate, if this is your partner, don't leave them out in the cold. Let them know what's going on. And that really woke something up in me, like, oh my gosh, I was not doing that. And I was almost scared to use my voice because I just didn't want things to mess up. And I thought if I spoke my mind and was disagreeable, you know, he would walk away or something. And then the reality was they worked harder. Jay says, yes, we do. I believe he was talking about your points and what you were saying, but I don't know. What you talking about, Jay?
He's talking about what we're saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we do. Also, I think that also what I also noticed, ladies, that I wanted to point out, especially people who are in a relationship. I want to talk to you guys for a quick second. The people who are in a relationship, but they are so aggravated with their man, or their man is so aggravated with them. I think it's like that toxic relationship. Y'all need to dead that. If you can't man up, or if you can't woman up and just like actually be respectful. When you have a man, you don't want to come in the room like he's your friend or your sister and just pass them and, hey, what's up? Like, hey, no, you go and embrace that man. Okay. You give that man a hug every time you see him. You embrace them and you show them love. Like, this is your man. Like, you mean to tell me I was watching Tamar and Vince, and I know they already broke up, but every scene, this lady never gives him a hug or give him a kiss and show you like this is like a real lovey-dovey relationship. Like, even if you feel like there's certain parts where you don't like your man, like you've been with him for one moment. You've been with him for 14 years or so, whatever the case may be. So you feel comfortable with him. There should never be that point of comfortability. Like, you gotta just the same way, in old school way terms, like, or
courting
people
and all that.
Not even courting, but like your family. Like, we're Caribbean, so like we're Haitian, so like you always have to embrace your elders. Like, you see someone, you give them a hug, you give them a kiss, you let them know, like, you know, you show them love. And that goes the same for your relationship. And I feel like a lot of women who are in a relationship, they are not doing that. But then they'll go to their family's home, give their aunt a kiss, give their mom a kiss, but they're not doing the same thing for their man until it's time to get freaky. And it's like, nah, you gotta also do it this way too.
And I think that goes the same for men as well. And because I remember an interview, and I want to play it, but I cannot remember the name. Maybe we'll put it on next week.
We always say that we
never do. But it was a very old, I can't even remember the people who were in it. One of the guys was a comedian. This is very old video, probably like 20 years ago. I don't know. 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I don't know.
10,000 years ago.
Whatever. It was with two melanated people. It was a black comedian and the black woman. She was light skinned. She had a little afro. If y'all know what I'm talking about, they were having a discussion about black relationships with the man and woman. And she was speaking to him about how it wasn't fair that when the black man, you know, comes home to his woman, you know, she doesn't get the good side of him. She gets the, the real, the ugly parts of him, because he had to go to work and he's, you know, been beaten up by the world, and he comes home to her and, you know, she gets his anger, his frustration, you know, because he's not maybe excelling or performing where he wants to be in life and, you know, out here hustling. And she was like, you know, that's discouraging for me. Because the same way you go out into the world and you fake it, you're going to fake it with me, because this relationship matters. And if you're willing to go and, you know, make sure you don't mess up at work and still have a job so you know how to act act like that towards me. Why are you giving me the lesser part of you? Why am I getting, and that's the thing. I think when people get in relationships, they're like, oh, well, if I can show my lesser part of myself, then, you know, that means we're in a good relationship because, you know, you can accept me for my flaws. But it's like, if you really care about something, do you give it your flaws? No, you give it your all. Right. You give it your best. You do what it is to shine, to excel. You don't go in your career and just, I'm going to, you know, slack in this career or whatever I'm doing. No, you're going to outperform, outshine every single time you're going to bring it. And so I think that's what people are missing in relationships, is that they're not giving their partner their all. It's like, you know, what does your man or woman like? What is their key things? Are you able to provide that for them? How are you meeting their needs and showing up for them in that?
Let me tell you why. It's because
let's hear what Jay got to say. Jay says we'll send him a text 30 minutes before he gets home on her way with the thong on. Okay, he won't be mad.
That's
right. If that's something that he wants.
Okay, you see, but you gotta let the woman know that. Like, you gotta be like, okay, honey, let me tell you something. This is the kind of man I am. I like a woman who is, you know, very adventurous. I like you to send me, like, I like my communication is like being spontaneous. You're gonna, you know, send me some pics with some thong on, you know, get me ready for when I get home. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of women who's like, you know, that's what makes you happy. I'll be doing that. No worries. You got to communicate these things. Like, you can't just be they'll be like, you be texting a woman like, send me some thong. Like, no, like, you're disrespectful. Yeah. You have to see if that person's comfortable with some things like that. Because you might pick a woman who's like, I don't do things like that. I don't take pictures. I don't send men things like that. No,
and what are you doing to make her comfortable to do that? Right. I would never advise a woman to do that to a man who she's just talking to, or, you know, just got in a relationship. Are you guys married? Is this a marriage conversation that we're having? Like, because at the end of the day, that's when that you get those type of privileges. Again, you have to have respect.
Right, you're not my husband yet.
Unless you're that person's husband. And then you could play those type of games where
you never know. You might find a woman who's okay with that. So
yes, of course you'll find a woman that's okay with that, but that goes and shows her standards as well. That everything is,
but that might be something for you, because, like, of course, you know, a woman needs to be elegant and hold herself accountable to not being trashy. But you know, some women feel like, you know, my man likes things like that. So even though we're not in a relationship, like, we're not married yet, but we've been dating for, you know, about a few months now. So, like, some people are spicy, like they like to spice it up and do things like that. So I mean, it's not a bad thing if that's someone who's doing that currently.
Y'all said come home to, I would hope they are married. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, of course they're married.
So I have a question, Jay. Would you let a woman live with you before she's married with you? Because she could have been coming home to somebody.
Would say yeah.
Yeah, she would be coming home to. She could have been someone who was coming home to just a boyfriend.
I think even with that, and I think this is where women mess up as well. Is like, if you're gonna move in with somebody, he said no.
He would not.
Yeah. I would say if you're going to move in with somebody, I would highly have a discussion beforehand explaining exactly what's going to happen and have real deadlines to when this marriage is going to happen, because there's no reason to live with somebody unless you're about to get married.
Right. Do you expect us to be married?
Yeah. Because of course you're going to like sleep over and have things there, but you're gonna have your own and that person have their own until you guys marry, and then you can get a place together.
Right. Because that's the most beautiful thing, is like going house shopping with your mate. Like, why, you know, buy a house as a woman
unless he has like a really good house that, you know,
you want to live in.
Period. But if not, you know,
you got to start from
change things.
If it's not, you got to start from scratch.
Men have very specific regular style. Some of them, you know, they try hard, and then it's like, I know you tried really hard, but I still wouldn't choose any of this. I mean, I'm like, it looks nice,
But for him, he's a single man. He's
but
gonna
that's
have
not
a
what we're
single
gonna
man
do
home.
here. No,
no, I'm not gonna live in your single man home style. We're gonna, but that's okay because men are actually okay with women just like sharpening up the house. So
what they want to men, I've experienced this. They love you dressing them. I would dress, like not necessarily dressing them, but like we would go shopping together and I would get my stuff and then I'll just pick out what they should get. And it's like, oh, you like this? Okay. Yeah. Whatever you think. Sure. And it's like, yeah, because they like a woman's opinion because women know what looks good and what doesn't look good. So
yeah, we sure do know what looks good and not good.
Jay says, I have great taste. Well, I'm sure you probably do, Jay.
And I bet you your taste will get 100 times better with the woman's touch.
But shopping together for a home is cool. Yeah.
I love the shopping for homes.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it because it brings both of your personalities together. You both get to experience
your future.
And the best thing about relationships is having goals together that you can meet together and growing together, building a family together and being, again, a partner, a teammate, somebody who you look out for, somebody who you care about. You might, that's like, it's literally what should be your best partnership. You should be choosing top of the line. You should be
top of the line.
Super. And this is why it's important for men to be able to provide and excel in their careers and bring that. And it's important for women to be, very beautiful and either, fit, caring, smart, funny, a good, just a nurturing woman, of just being a woman and men being lovable and kind and soothing and comforting. So all of these things, and if you want to be a mother, and all of these dynamics that go perfectly together. And it's like, all right, now you got to go out there with a real keen eye and what am I gonna do? So then when you choose, you don't have to keep on choosing and making the wrong mistakes. And I think being patient and knowing quality over quantity, which men don't really know these days.
But sometimes I think men also have to think if their boys or their family would want to actually enjoy seeing this person, because men hang out with their boys or or their family, so that also plays a part on their decision on making it further with that person. If they feel like, oh, okay, well, I feel like I could just smash, then I'm gonna just use her as my side chick. Not my side chick, but somebody, I can't bring you to my family. So women, if you notice that you're dating somebody and I don't know their friends, I don't know their family, they don't think you're good enough to meet them. That's the only reason why you haven't met them. Yeah. It's nothing else.
That's right there.
I'm just being honest.
They don't want
it's the harsh truth.
They don't want to give that commitment. No. That is right there. You are not getting that commitment. And once you know that, once you see there's only so much chances you're supposed to give people before you fire them. I remember in one of my careers, we were in such a hiring and firing frenzy. Even you had to come on board and help with hiring process because it was so intense. And it was literally if this person doesn't cut it, they're done. This person, they're done. It was and you end up with the perfect team in that way. So it's the same thing with the relationships. I think that it doesn't have to be so cutthroat, like you said before, vetting people out and seeing hey, are we vibing? Are we, on the same path?
Can I let people
do we
see
want the same things?
Yeah.
Jay says, most women think a woman decorated my home when they see it.
Oh, okay. Good taste and taste.
You bringing women to your home after your dates?
Right.
And that's another reason why
ladies don't fall for the okey-doke with these men.
You might be single. Do not
go to their house,
to these men's homes.
That's why
this is something that men do, and they are very good at doing it. And it's called convincing you to come over.
Right, so you can see his new decorative home.
Right, so you can see. Right, exactly, Jay. You cannot.
So ladies, be aware.
Men will tell you like anything he knows, like that you might like. He's like, hey, I got that there. Like if you like champagne, oh, I got this really great champagne back at home. Like you want to go like have a drink. Trap. Don't ever.
That's how you know, ladies, and you feel like, okay, well, and I think it's very important because a lot of you ladies, and I don't.
Jay says no sex, just dinner. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean.
That's you.
Did he? Was he the one who told us he was celibate?
Oh, I don't know. Are you celibate?
For a couple years? I don't know. I feel like somebody did tell us that. Let us know if I'm wrong.
Let us know if you're celibate.
Go ahead,
because that's good. But what I was gonna say is that
Jay says I cook often and make it known that she has to leave. Yes, he is celibate. Okay. Yeah. See, that's another thing. Like with the it was me. See, got good memory.
That's really good.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I would never advise somebody to go on I cooked at home date. If we're gonna go,
because even though you're celibate, that doesn't mean, like, let me tell you something. The perfect woman who comes over and you're celibate, I know that celibacy can let go. Like, what? you gonna come and check out my cooking? Like, no. Ladies, don't fall for that. That cooking stuff, man, it's a trap too. Because they get it going, they got the food going, they got all of a sudden the music's playing, things is going low on the lights, and you're like, hold on, he's getting a little closer, and you're like, I thought I was here for food. You should have been sitting across like a restaurant, lights on. There should be no like romantic thing going over here. Right. Show me all the lights, because at the restaurant it's pretty wide open unless we're at one of those dem restaurants. But
because like we kind of spoke about it last week about how. When you're on a date or getting to know somebody, you don't necessarily just want to sit in their home and eat food. You want to be out. Like I'm an introverted extrovert. I love to be out and I love to see people and go out to dinners. And like, I'm the type of person, like, we'll be at dinner for hours and I order a lot of food because I'm plant-based. So I eat like all the sides that we could get, and we're drinking and eating and enjoying the conversation. So we're there for like hours at a restaurant and it's fun, And so like, I like that type of atmosphere because you get to talking and you can learn a lot through food. And I like atmosphere. I like looking good, all these things. So I like to have like a relationship or a date or whatever where, we're obviously going to be in the house sometimes, but I like to like go out and do fun things and like hang out and do like
fun things.
Because that's the whole point of like having a partner. Is like, oh, you get to do fun things. Like it's kind of like having a dog. It's like, oh, I'm gonna walk more because I gotta go outside.
So we use the dog as an analogy of the man, and now I'm at the children, and now the man.
Okay. Jay says they aren't coming over for dinner on the first date. That's what Burger King is for. Oh no. Oh no.
He's taking girls to Burger
King. Okay. What we're not gonna do.
You know what I do? My pet peeve with a man is let me take you out for coffee. I don't do the coffee. I don't do that.
No.
I don't do the Burger King. I don't do the fast food.
I don't even feed myself fast food. I would never eat fast food off of anybody else. Like if I wouldn't even
you to Burger King, sweetie.
No. You taking yourself to Burger King. And that even me as well, like I feel like because I'm more like I would not eat, like I take like what I eat seriously to the point that, even if it's someplace more expensive, but it's more clean, it's more organic, I always choose my health. And I would never put in like trash in my body that is like fast food.
Because, what's so funny? Because we went out to dinner.
I wouldn't.
And you said we went out to dinner with a friend, and it was on my birthday. And we were placed. Our seat was right next to the bathroom.
Oh my god! Yeah.
We're like, we can't eat here. We need to get out of here. We're being like to people maybe bougie. Yeah. But I'm not gonna eat. And there's a bathroom right there. That's so disgusting.
I don't want to see that.
And so we're telling our friend, and we're like, we're gonna leave, like, but it's my birthday. I'm like, I do want to sit down and eat. We're far, so like, we'll just wait for another table. And they're like, oh, it's gonna be an hour or so, and we're like, whatever. And so we're with our friend. He's like, okay, standing up. He was like, fine, I'll just stand here and eat. We're like, fine. And so you can stand there and block the bathroom.
Block our vision from it.
Yeah, he's so
because that's how difficult we are sometimes.
He's so sweet and he does it.
I think every time we come, we're like with each other and like a guy or like one of our friends, it's literally we give them like the hardest time ever. And it's so funny because they like fumble trying to accommodate us, and it's like
you guys are so annoying. We're just too much.
But you know what? I love when men step up to the plate and like just be a man, and it's just great. I mean, I appreciate men in their role in society, so I give them all the reason to do it.
But the moral of the story is that he got up and protected us.
Jay says, Catherine, we aren't going to BK.
Oh, okay.
We ain't going nowhere.
Right. You're saying some crazy stuff.
Okay. No, that's not even, you shouldn't take anybody. See, I don't think, like, I don't like when people try to, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but when people try to give you a compliment while degrading the next person. So it's kind of like,
he won't take nobody.
I usually don't do this. This is what some men say. I usually don't date black girls, but you're
an exception.
That's disrespectful.
I had a guy tell me that before.
And that I've had that too. And I'm like, and I'm not talking to you.
You think I'm going to talk to you again?
Why would you ever say that?
You told me you don't talk to black girls. Well, guess what? You'll never talk to them.
So you're telling me you're prejudiced. And like I should forget about your prejudice because you like me.
Yeah.
Like, no, you told me exactly who you are, and I don't care about you.
So, and now I know who your family is. Because if you're prejudiced, I know your parents are prejudiced. So why are you gonna sit there and bring? Oh, guess what? He's not gonna bring me around his parents because he's never gonna marry me. You know, when they say things like that, I don't date black women but you're an exception.
But exception for what? To sleep with?
Yes.
No, you can keep it. You can keep it.
To sleep with.
You can keep it.
To sleep with.
You can keep it.
But
you can keep it.
We'll sleep with each other. But after I'm done with you, there's no
because I told you I don't
date black women. See, they up front every time. And if you're dating a man that says that and you're one of the women, guess what? You've been dating him for 5 years.
I usually don't date girls your size. Or I usually don't do this. If he's saying that to you, red flag. You're with the wrong guy. Because I mean, a man who's really interested in you and doesn't want to lose you, is not gonna say something stupid like that.
No. He may say a little dumb things like,
not that one, but not to the point where he's telling you that you wouldn't cut it. He would never tell you that.
You cut it this time?
No, he would never say that. He would always be letting you know that you cut it, and please cut it for him. Like it will.
I don't like guys who tell me that they don't do this.
Jay says, now do you think I would take a lady to BK? Come on, y'all.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know, but we know. And not for you, but there are people, men out there. That's why I said I wasn't saying it directly to you.
At you.
But I know, like, there are men out there that are so weird about that. And I just think, even men who won't, bring a woman to a restaurant is like, I'm not going to spend that much money on a first date and stuff like that. It's like I look at you as like a weird human being because it's like, so you wouldn't buy food for a homeless person?
No.
So you wouldn't, pay for your friend's meal? Like a meal is not, I mean, I'm gracious and grateful for every meal that I get, but I do also pay for other people's meals. So I feel like it's just a reciprocal thing that continues. And I don't think that sitting down and having a meal with somebody is that big of a deal. And if you were that worried, you should have a phone call with that person just to make sure that you even want to sit down and talk to this person.
That's what I'm saying with the online dating thing. Right. It's like at the end of the day,
you should be on the phone.
I think you should vent them out. Like, Have that phone conversation. Have that FaceTime. Don't meet these people without FaceTiming them, because first of all, you don't even know if it's that person. So you might like meet them. And a lot of men told me, because a lot of my guy friends, they online date and stuff like that. And so they're like telling me that like every woman that they meet is like, not every woman, but a lot of the women that they meet, they're catfish. They use an old photo. They're actually not exactly who they are. Maybe sometime when they were like a little skinny, they'll use that photo and then they'll come mad fat and then they're like, dude or woman, I didn't know you were that cat.
Jay says, considering the money I lost in my divorce, 200 for dinner is a drop in the bucket. There you go. 200 for dinner is dinner. Okay. With or without the girl.
Especially for us.
Usually for men. Usually for men. And that's what I always say. Like, when I was younger and I was bartending, I would see bachelors and guys always at the bar, you know, hanging out. These are single men, and they're because they don't cook dinner, so they're here eating every day. They're spending like $200 every single day. So for him to do it with you is technically what he would have been doing anyways.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of that's why I don't think
like, has to go out to eat if he doesn't cook.
That's why I don't think like dinner is like a big deal, because I'm like, I know you eat dinner all the time. So either you're like, we're gonna order it. I want to do something like, I'm sure like women want to do something different, especially when you're dating consistently until you meet your husband, you or wife. And a lot of these dates are eating. So it's like, oh, we got to eat again. Gosh, I'm so done eating. Like,
that's why activities
like guys,
first date, eat,
right?
Second date,
activity,
the activity that you talked about,
conversation,
and then eat after that too. Because women
Eating
always want to
eat.
Always always feed the woman
and start it early. Start the date early because. First of all, the woman doesn't need to come home with you. So ladies, this is an information for you all. I know a lot of you ladies are hot in the pants because you guys got that WAP and whatever, and you want something going on. But I also heard a woman told it best, and she said, before going on these dates with men, a lot of women are like, you know, very sexual women. And I'm like shocked because I'm like, I don't think that's me. So they're like, instead of like, so you can actually really experience this person that you're going on a date with. So it's just not like a one night stand or a few months. Like you want that person to last. Don't go home with this man.
Right.
Use your vibrators, use the things that you use and move on, because like you are not going to, even if you tell me like, oh, I've slept with him and I'm married the first time I met him. No,
you're the exception.
You're the exception to a rule, because these men, they're quick. They're quick. Like that physical touch, like I said, is important to them. They want to let it loose, but they will prefer, I'm not a man, but I know the long-lasting ones, the ones that are married, I'm quoting them, they would prefer to not sleep with you because they want to chase you. They want to actually, that foreplay, you know, they want that excitement. Like, okay, let me see her tomorrow. Let me see her the next day. And that my guy, like I dated him and he's like, I need to see you every day. And I'm like, that shows, you know what I mean? And I remember when it stopped working out, because I actually thought it was too much. And I was like, I don't want to see you every day. So I'm going to act like I'm busy and I don't want to see you then. And that also, and that's why I'm not married to that man, because I didn't do my part.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do need that break and of course, be able to be like, hey, you know, you can't take up all of my time as well. And I think that having even that boundary is like, hey, my time is valuable as much as your time is valuable. And if you're going to take that much of my time, where are we going with this?
Right.
You have to understand like the same thing. Like I want people to look at it more in like what makes sense in the long term of your life, because your life goes on and you don't want to be in a situation where you're just like, I was dating this person, there was no future, I knew there was no future, so I missed out on dating other people because I liked having this person around. That is a problem.
Did you read his quote?
Jay says, now if I cook for you and it doesn't work out, I'm pissed.
You're joking, right?
I mean,
because you cook all the time.
I guess you can. I mean, cooking for the person, I would. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but that would be technically for me. I would be pissed.
I'd be like, I let you see what my house looks like. Right. I'm like, I let you see what my house
if
looks
I let
like.
you in my house, I'm pissed. If I let you, if any of those things don't work, I'm not necessarily pissed, but it's just kind of like, that was a waste of time, but
it hurts different.
Yeah. It's a different
a different hurt.
Yeah. Time is everything. Yeah. Time is everything. And I think that when you are in a relationship with somebody and dealing with somebody in a situation with somebody, you have to know they're taking your time and your energy. Mm-hmm. They're taking everything from you, because in that moment, especially with women, we give so much because it's just part of our nature. And it's not that we're necessarily giving to the man. It's just the energy that we create in the room, because technically, like with women in a man and women situation, women are the life of that her job in the relationship is to be fun and soothing and just what makes his day and what he's excited, and he's been thinking about seeing you all day. And so being that as a woman gets exhausting because you're just that light. And if that person takes so much of your time and they don't even give you a commitment or give you a promise, I mean, I don't take promises, but I mean, at least a real shot at what you want, you're just wasting your time. And Jay says, yes, it's a different hurt. Yeah, it is a different hurt, because it's like I've given you a part of me, especially when you cook, because you're the one
you put in love in
who's
that.
putting the love in it,
it's true.
So it's like, and you're feeding that person. That means you're caring for them in that sense, and it's like, I'm feeding you, and I want you to enjoy
and see a different part of me, and see that if I was to be your husband, I'm quoting Jay, if I was to be your husband, like, that you'll eat here and you'll actually feel very good to know that you don't always have to be the one to cook.
Right.
I know how to cook.
I feel like it's so funny when men go out of their way to try to show you that what they have is acceptable for you.
Right.
Like, I've had a guy show me a whole tour of his home, and I'm talking like to every nook and I was tired. He had so much stuff, and I was just like, by the end of it, I was like, okay, not gonna work out.
I don't see me here.
And he's like, I showed you everything I got. What do you think? And I was like, nah, sorry. I can't do it. But I thought that it was really cool that he did that. Obviously, we were dating for a pretty longer, and there was other factors to go into it. But, taking those steps, taking it slow. And that's what I also think that people don't necessarily want to do, is like take things slow. This is why the baby mama culture is so popular, because it's all evidence of not taking things slow. If you took it slow, you would have known this person is not somebody you want to procreate with. This is, this person is not your match. But instead, we're just moving fast and then making decisions and having children and bringing these children into toxic environments and trauma. And it's just not healthy for everybody involved.
It's sad for the children.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as a child, I come from a divorced family as well. And so I would have loved to have my dad in the picture, and it's important to have your, be with that person and commit for 18 years until your child is off to the world. But if you're not married, I don't think that's the same situation. I don't think that, to me personally, if you're not married, you don't have to actually be in the home for 18 years. You can actually have a separate environment, and that kid goes off to you. Just like that clip we were talking about, the grandmother telling her child, who was very young, that, you had to, like, you didn't know this stage. And maybe her mom, sometimes these kids hear it then, parents. Like, they hear it now that you said that you don't want to be a grandmother and that you don't want to have that responsibility. People are not training their children to actually know what sex is about. They just actually have sex and accidentally get pregnant, and things happen. And if we're training our children and we're telling them about sex and we're letting them know it's a union that mommy and I'm a parent, a husband and wife does to show their love to one another, because we're a human being, and we're just like the animals. The animals are out there humping each other right in your face, and you're recording it thinking it's funny, but it's like it's a natural thing to have sex. But you have to have sex with someone you actually really love, because we're just doing it. And it's nice to hear that Jay is celibate and holding that off for someone who maybe.
And it's very different for men.
Yeah,
I mean, with men, when you are celibate, you get a different type of energy. Women, we get this energy all the time.
Right.
But for men, when you're holding back that, and it basically travels, that energy travels up your spine, the kundalini, if we want to get pseudo.
Yeah, we do.
And it travels all the way up to your crown chakra, and it activates your third eye, and you go through like deeper experiences, and you get more closer with yourself. So that's definitely something that men should practice. And it's anything that they push really hard for you to do, you need to do the opposite. So they push sex really hard because they know men love it. And so by them doing that, it's kind of blocking you from that experience of holding it back. And then you're even more creative, even more powerful, because you're holding that energy and it's exploding within yourself. So it's a whole metaphysical thing, but it's definitely important for men to do that, and women as well. But I think women now are just being taught that be raunchy, show everything you got, be the sexiest woman in the room,
because it's a competition out there,
right? And they say there's a competition out there, but in the reality, all of those girls who look, I've seen these women, with the fake bodies, with the look, with the lips, with the butt, with the whole look, with the clothes, with all of the Fashion Nova, with the long nails, with the designer purses. I've seen all of this. And these women, majority of them are single. And a majority of them are mothers. And
mothers.
It shows you that this tactic it will get the attention of these men.
Yeah, definitely.
And they will be attracted to you, and they will want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
But they don't
want a commit
to you.
You're embarrassing.
And I think that right there,
and you're embarrassing. Who wants, not you, but those women that you just said, you're embarrassing. First of all, you have a big butt and you're walking past. I know these ladies, like these people with big butts, they're not even confident. And I'm like, why you buy your butt?
Right.
Why you buy your butt if you're scared?
And that's
why you scared.
And that's because they bought the butt for confidence, and they didn't realize that it wasn't about the butt. It was just about the confidence. You needed the confidence before. Like I can see a very, very slim girl and have more confidence than all of these girls with their fake bodies, and do 10 times better, get married, get the career that they want, win everything, love everybody's hearts, because they didn't try so hard, because they were just confident. And that, I think, is the most important thing in everybody's beauty, is their confidence. How do you feel? How are you stepping up to the plate? How are you owning who you are? And that is through your confidence, not by your body, not by, this physical appearance. It's really about the energy that you back it up with, because you can look beautiful, and like we say all the time, like we see beautiful girls all of the time. We live in LA. If I'm walking past you and your head is down,
you're not confident to me.
Nope. If I'm walking past you and you don't smile and say hi, nope. Like a lot of things would be like, no, she's not friendly. And that tanks a girl. I know the resting bee face is like popular. Nope.
That's in the East Coast. That tanks. That's the East Coast thing. But even in the East Coast, like I know an East Coast thing is like to be like rough and to just like stand your own, be this independent person. But it's like, nah, you gotta actually be a sweetheart. Because if you're at work and you're mad sweet and fake to these people, but then you go home and you're mad rude to your man, you're mad rude to your people,
mad rude to your kids.
Yeah. and you're out there working and being fake and phony and being nice to these people, and you can't come over here and be fake and phony to these people. Women are the same thing like men, because men could take the work situation and come home and be rude to their wife, and the same goes with women. Come home and be rude to their husband, and it's like, no. Right. Like you can't get nowhere with that. And that's why your relationship is toxic and it's horrible. And you got to know that, okay, I do play a part in that. It's not only my man, it's me too. Like, I feel like I always got an attitude. And that's because you're out there being a rust and face person who just don't have the opportunity to show people that you're actually a sweet person.
Jimmy says it's false confidence. Yes, it is false confidence. Yes. And that's you go through all of that surgery and pain only to get a false boost of,
confidence.
It's like drugs. It's like a false hit of dopamine, and it just goes, and then it's gone, and then you need another hit, and then people become addicted to plastic surgery, and they're never satisfied because it's just a hit of dopamine, and they need another, and they need another, and they never build real, true inner confidence where it's really them. No. And it doesn't matter what you look like, because if you've ever been around, or if you are a very confident person, it's a whole different energy. It's like this person, you believe in them. Right. You get on their team.
And even if I feel like that confident thing is like 100%. They could be overweight, they could be ugly, they could be all these things, but they hit that confidence thing, you're like, oh, that person's attractive.
Yeah. And like one of my first, watching you, growing up, you are one of the most confident women that I know, especially at a younger age. Whatever you wanted, you went out and you got it. And it was even if you didn't qualify for it, you ended up qualifying for it. And it was just the energy that you have. And even when we go out and people talk to you, and it's it's just the energy that you have. And I watched that because when I was younger, I was a very shy individual. I would watch everybody and I would not say anything. I would just, be mentally observing and really just there, but not there. And I really learned the dynamics of people. And when you see somebody that comes in and demands the room and people walk over and want to talk to them, that's everything, because it's that person is just themselves and they win. And then when I started opening up and I realized I was that person that just comes in and takes in all of the energy, and people want to come towards me, it's what am I bringing to that? What am I saying in those conversations? How am I presenting? How am I doing? And then I want to bring other people in, because I hate being in a one-sided situation, or where I feel like I'm preaching, or I feel like I'm better than people. I like when it's an even playing field, or and then we can compete from there. People are actually just trying and doing their best selves. Yeah, I love that. So, learning from you and other women who were super confident, and knowing people gravitate towards that. So it's no matter what, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to always stand and, have my own back. I'm going to always present my best self to the world to represent myself. Right. And I'm always going to, do what's best for me. And I have good morals where what's best for me is always going to be best for the people around me, because I don't try to bring others down.
I think that's beautiful. Thank you so much for the kind words.
Yeah. Jay says, I was very shy myself. Yeah. So from one shy, and I think with shy people, and I'm talking a lot, but I think with shy people, the good thing about it is because you get time to observe. So you get to kind of realize others' personalities, and you pick up on things maybe people didn't pick up on, but then you brush up on your own personality, because you can see what's displeasing about other people, where you then tweak your own personality to not be displeasing. Who you are.
Yeah. And look at who you are today. I feel like that's exactly what you did. Yeah. And it's a perfect thing to, like you said, be shy, because it's you don't have to be that person that's always talking to everybody. Observing is best, because you just want to know, feel people out. And then you show people, because it kind of reels people in too, because they want to know you, shy person. They want oh, you always quiet. Let's hear what you got to say. And then all of a sudden, because you were so quiet, you have so much to say. And that's when you create who you were, because someone who's confident like myself brings you in to be you.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
what confident people do.
And like we said, I think we're running on time. It's like 1 hour and 13
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. We've been.
So it was really lovely talking to everybody and everybody who got involved. I want you guys to just really observe what kind of person you are, especially if you're single and if you feel like you want to be married or you want to be in a relationship, boyfriend, no matter what it is, actually vent the person out who you want. Actually know what kind of relationship you need right now, because your partner is someone who makes you feel good. This is a person who's here for me, a person who supports me and who has my back. Like, I've watched so many movies when they're dealing with men or they're dealing with a woman, that person's always there for them. Like, they're stopping what they have to do to be there for you. And if you don't have that person, you know, really evaluate what it is that you're looking for in a relationship, because at the end of the day, we don't need to waste time with people for sexual pleasures. It's pointless at this point.
Yeah.
There's like I said, there's toys for women. There's, you know, men, y'all want to play games like that, go pay a woman, because women want money. And we're not saying prostitution or anything like that, but stop wasting women time. And women, stop letting these men waste your time, because they know how to do it. They know how to use you. So be smart. Go ahead and follow our social medias, because we are on there, okay?
And Nothing's Wrong Podcast.
Hit up Nothing's Wrong Podcast.
Medias. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can definitely support us by hitting the like, follow, share, and then also monetary wise, you can hit up the Cash App at $ Nothing's Wrong Pod. Again, we appreciate you guys for joining us this evening.
And always making us super happy, because we love when you guys intervene. We love when you guys get in the comments, because like we're shy people here and we're looking for somebody to pull us out of the shyness. And when you come out here and you speak and have us having different conversations, that just levels up the show and that makes you a part of it. We love you guys, and we hope you have a lovely rest of the week, because it's the beginning of a start. And pick the right people in your circle.
Yep.
And if you don't got a circle, you know,
you don't need a circle.
You don't need a circle, but you need a man and you need a woman. So make sure you find your mates. We don't need to be single forever now.
All right.
Thanks for
All right, guys. And always remember, even if you are single,
if you're single,
always remember,
guess what? Nothing's wrong. We'll
Bye,
see you
guys.
in the next video.
Oh, that's hot.